Hey everyone, welcome to Zoetic Chat, Unleash Your Life's Journey with me, Jan Mayfield. This ultimate podcast for spiritual guidance will answer all your life, soul and spiritual questions. I'm thrilled to have you join me every week. My vast knowledge, wisdom and experience are crucial to your personal and spiritual growth. Together we will explore a variety of topics and delve deeply into the truths of my life and spiritual path. Don't forget to sign up to my newsletter at janmayfield.com. Hey everyone. Welcome to Zoetic Chat, Unleash Your Life's Purpose with me, Jan Mayfield. This is Season 3, Episode 1. And today, I'd like to talk a little bit about what do you mean? And what do I mean by that? When people ask me sometimes for a reading or a connection to their loved ones, especially on social media, I've noticed they'll say, give me a spirit reading. Give me a spirit reading. I want to connect to spirit. And I always have to clarify this because I never feel that I'm connecting to spirit when you ask me for a spirit reading. I always feel I'm connecting to the soul of the person that's passed over. So I will always ask you to clarify, what do you actually mean by spirit? Spirit to me sometimes feels like a fragment of the personality or the essence of someone who's passed over. It's the part of them that people hope to connect to in a reading, but it just seems fragmented to me. It just feels very cold, a spirit, whereby if you talk about the soul, I'd love to connect to the soul of my grandmother, or I'd love to connect to the soul of my brother or my child. When you ask like that, it just gives a whole different feeling and depth to the work that we do, connecting to the other side. The other side can be called anything, whatever you want it to. But I like to call it soul world. When I'm speaking to people and connecting to their loved ones' souls, I like to call it soul world. I like to connect to soul world and ask for those souls to come through. Now, you might hear me on social media say spirit world this and spirit world that, but when I'm actually doing a one-to-one, 99% of the time I'll call it soul world. And it's that amazing connection to those souls that have left their earthly body and gone to soul world. Soul world. They're in soul world. They're doing what they do in soul world. It's not only the souls of your loved ones that we connect to. We can connect to a guide. A guide is still a soul. A soul that's passed over can still guide you. A guide can walk with you for as long as it needs to, for as long as you need help. There are different types of guides. Lifetime guides that are often with you from birth to death. Seasonal guides who appear when you're at a soul threshold. And specialist guides, the healers, the artists, the teachers, the protectors. Now, some of these guides are ancestors. Some of them are the souls of your loved ones from when they were in the human body, how you know them. But some have incarnated from different places, but all serve you to support your evolution. No, they're not here to control your choices. Your guides don't override your path. They illuminate your path. Say that out loud. My guides don't override my path, they illuminate it. So my soul has the blueprint of the path that I am supposed to be living. My human needs to connect to that blueprint. And then the guides come in and illuminate the path so that we can live it, run it, sense it, deliver it in just the most amazing way. And when you get to that point, that's when you stop questioning. You stop questioning and you just live. Now, some people like to connect to angels. Angels are pure frequency beings. They're not generally said to be souls who have lived human lives. They're kind of part of a different design. They hold the divine codes of healing, protection, compassion, truth. They don't interfere with your free will choice, but they respond to you. You invite them to come in. You don't have to believe in them for them to work with you. Inviting them magnifies their presence. So they are vibrational beings who help you to remember who you are. How amazing is that? A vibrational being to help you to remember who you are. Some of the information that you get from the other side is amazing. So the angels are there to support your soul's alignment. They don't fix you and they don't activate anything particular. They're just there. Sometimes they'll show you people call them angel numbers. You know, when you see the repetition of numbers, 222, 333, 1111, all of that. A lot of people will look up that as an angel number. So they'll go onto Googly and they'll say, what is the meaning of the angel number 222, for example? Now, you can look up numbers by looking up what is the spiritual meaning of a number. You do get a slightly different response, and I always resonate better, I've found, with the what is the spiritual meaning of the number. But if you kind of learn the spiritual meaning or the numerology of 1 to 0 or 0 to 9, you can generally work out what the numbers are saying to you. Remember, you need to add that little personal touch, because a number 2 to everyone isn't the same. A number 3 to everyone isn't the same. So I might get the number 3 coming in and know that it's belonging to tribe, belonging to 3 people, 3 situations. But I also know that it's my birth number, the 3rd of the 3rd. And I know that wherever I go and I get the frequency of 3s, that I'm in exactly the right place. So I live at the moment in room 3 on floor 3 at postcode 33. So very, very strong synchronicities there. What have you got that is synchronized in your life right now? Have a little think about it and bring it forward to your mind. People also talk about spirit animals, and they often think that you can get they are symbolic messengers, often rooted in ancestral and shamanic traditions. But you can also get messages from the souls of your pets, your animals that have passed over. So a soul in an animal is no different to a soul in a human, except that it's got an animal body form as opposed to a human body form. Animal souls still go to soul world, the same place that human souls in a human body go. So they all end up in soul world. And that's why we can read from the animal. People think sometimes that you can't read an animal soul when it's passed. Well, it's a soul. And when you read, I don't have to understand dog bark or dog language when a dog soul comes through, or I don't have to understand meowing or squeaking or tweeting. They tell me in the language that I understand. So I can say that your dog felt this, or your cat saw that, or this was going on in your life and your dog fell over, and, you know, all that, because they tell me in my language. So animal souls, your pet souls, do pass over. They come around and give you messages, signs and symbols, but also symbolically connecting to the ancestral kind of roots of the other spiritual animals, and how they fit with tradition. You can think about that if you want to. There's many ascended masters, which I don't really need to go into on this one. We talk about star beings and galactic guides, higher conscious energies from other dimensions or systems, like Arcturus, Sirius, Andromeda, often assisting with soul technology and evolution. I absolutely adore it when the star beings and galactic beings come around me. I absolutely love that connection. It's taken a few years for me to get it, but nevertheless. So I connect to what I call soul world, where ancestors, guides, angels, higher intelligences, all aliens, all align with your growth. But I always ask, who is needed right now? And I never force anything. So if I'm in a reading, like doing a one-to-one, and someone say, well, I don't really mind, and I'll say, okay, then whoever needs to come through. But then I have to clarify before I finish the reading, are you sure there's no one particular you want to come through? Because we can ask, do you want your granny? Do you want your granddad? Do you want your loved one? Do you want your daughter, son? I don't want you to go away from a one-to-one with me thinking, oh, I wonder why my granny didn't come through. It's because someone else was stronger and you didn't actually ask. So it's fine to ask. I've asked for years and years and years, who do you want to come through? Oh, come on then, let's get your granny through. But other people will come through at the same time. So we're not just saying we only want you, granny. But if granny is really powerful, she might push the others away. It's quite funny sometimes. I can see other people lurking, and granny's got the strongest energy. So she's the one at the forefront. It's interesting. So I connect soul to soul. I connect to the soul of the person that's passed over. They show themselves to me in the form that they were when you knew them. And that's how we can describe them. They don't always show themselves. Sometimes they'll just give you their personality. Sometimes they'll give you the voice, their habits, their quirks. And sometimes you can hear their accent coming through. And I don't always hear that. But people will say to me, hey, Jan, you were speaking exactly like my grandma, or my granddad used to use those exact words. And so they are projecting that through so that you understand and know that it is them. So we don't just give a message. We give soul presence. It's a deeper feeling, and it's the feeling that you have when you sit with me, that you get the goosebumps, you feel the presence of your loved one's soul coming around you. They just come around you and they just give you that amazing feeling, an absolutely beautiful connection like never before. It's just amazing. And if you deny yourself that by thinking, oh, well, that's not going to happen and this is not going to happen, those are your words that you're putting out into the universe. Your loved ones' souls are looking over you and they're perhaps saying, oh, she doesn't really want me to come through, because you're negating anything before it's even happened. So if you can sit, if you've got an appointment with me, let's say 3 hours before, if you can sit in the presence, ask them to come through. Say, hey, Granny, I'm going to be talking with Jan. I want you to tell her this, that, and the other. I'd like answers to this, or I'd like answers to something else. And more often than not, they'll bring those answers in without even you having to tell me the questions. I do love a question. I do love it when people come to me with questions, a whole list of questions. I do like those kind of connections. It's almost like you're having a conversation with your loved one. You're asking the question to me, but into the universe, and they hear it and they answer it. Sometimes you can say, oh, just give me what you've got, Jan, but I want it from Grandma. They can give you all the answers to your questions without me hearing them. And that is absolutely amazing. The point is to keep open, to not sit there and, oh, I don't think this will happen, or I don't think that will happen. Bring the openness into the connection, the reading, and be open. Just, I can't say any more than be open. Some people sit there and say, well, I am open, but there's no buts with being open. You're either open or you're not. You're either ready to receive or you're not. If you're not ready to receive, then they kind of get a bit of a feeling, and they're not as forthcoming with the words to me, because they're sensing a resistance from you. We don't want to sense resistance. We want a flow. So that's what I mean by open. I can hear somebody saying, well, what do you mean by open, Jan? Just allowing it all to flow. Flow, flow, flow. That is the point. I get very excited as someone that connects to the souls in Soul World. When someone comes to me, whether they book a one-to-one or come onto my social media and say, oh, I lost my mum 2 days ago, or I lost my granny 3 weeks ago, within a 4-week period of someone passing, there is just something extraordinarily special. So special that you can't even replicate it on earth. No, being in love, having given birth, having children, nothing equates to that connection to a freshly passed, if you like, soul. It's just amazing. You will be in the depths of grieving if you were to contact me and ask me to connect to someone that's recently passed. But the words that I give you, you can take with you, and you can replay a recording, you can reread your notes, and you can know that your loved one has landed safely in Soul World. They will come in and give you information about their life, about your life. They might give you future with me, so you don't know what that's going to be until it happens. I'll tell you what it is, but you can't see it until it happens. They might talk about how they passed. They might talk about the time before they passed. They often talk about their soul's transition. Oh, that is amazing. To feel, sense, and be part of their soul's transition. I will explain it to you as easily as I can. I have to try and be a little bit graphic because I want you to feel their soul going over. It's absolutely an amazing feeling. But I also have to have empathy, really, for you being in the state of grieving. I don't think that people need to grieve, generally speaking, like society has taught us. So years ago, and I don't know if some cultures do now, but people would have dressed in black and not smiled and not been happy for so many weeks, days, or months. I can remember my grandma would always wear black. I can remember when my great grandma passed and my grandma was in mourning for so long. But I don't think you need to do that. And the reason I say that is because when I connect to people on earth, and I talk about their souls of their loved ones being passed, they feel lifted afterwards, because from what I've told them, they know, believe, trust that their loved one's soul is where it is where it's supposed to be. So they have that feeling of, oh yeah, they're there. So it stops that feeling so strongly of the loss. You've lost the human. But you've still got the ability to talk to and communicate with them if you so desire. Everyone can do that, but you just need to be in the right space and want to do it. Other than that, you've got me. But to waste your life in a grieving state, let's say 3 months after someone's passed. That might be a bit soon for some, that might be too long for some. But let's just say 3 months. You are not born to stop your life because a soul has passed over. You're born to experience a soul that's connected to you passing over, going home. So they pass over, they go home. So going home sounds better. So we're in soul world with the souls of the people that you know in human bodies, and they are where they're supposed to be. How amazing is that, really? It's only because we've been told that it's a loss, we need to mourn, it's not very nice, it's sad, because all these things have been told to us. What if I told you it was the most amazing thing to witness someone's soul passing over, and to allow them then to come in and help you in your life? What if I told you it was one of the most amazing things that you could witness, that you can be part of, that you can have as part of your life? You'd want that, wouldn't you? You'd want their soul to be around you, living in a different space, in a different kind of environment, but still there. You would want that. They would want that. They wouldn't want you grieving. They wouldn't want you crying all the time. And that's another reason why souls don't come forward sometimes, because you are crying all the time. And they think if they come in and they come too close, that it'll make you cry again. So they hold back. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with crying. Crying's good. Souls have made me cry many times. You know, when they come in and I get that feeling in my belly, I get that soul to soul feeling, they make me cry. And crying's just a natural human thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But when they see that you're crying and wanting them to come back, that is when they hold back. So cry, by all means, cry, get it out of your system. But please remember that your soul came here to experience the passing of a loved one as part of your journey, to experience being able to connect to soul world as part of your journey. I don't believe that people came here to mourn a human body for years and years and years. And it's not, I can hear somebody saying, it's all right for you, Jan. It's not all right for me, because I lost my partner when my children were 5 and 6. I've lost my dad, I've lost my granny, I've lost 2 grannies, 2 granddads, 1 great grandma. I've lost an aunt, I've lost a sister. My dad, did I say my dad? So I've lost, and there's bound to be others that I haven't named, but I've lost. And you know, one of the most amazing funerals that I ever went to was of a friend of mine, and she planned her own funeral because she knew she was passing, and she planned it in such a way that everyone was made to feel like, 1, like they were supposed to be there, 2, that they were happy that her soul's transitioned to where it needs to be, and 3, we felt joy, a lot of joy in that time. I did shed a tear because my soul to her soul felt so special. I shed a tear, but I didn't feel sad. Inside myself, my soul knew that it was right to feel joy for her soul going over. And it did, it felt joyful. And she also gave everyone some seeds to just plant in the garden, in a way to remember, really, but not only to remember, to keep the sequence going of, you know, we're born to pass, we grow, we're born. So like this, the flowers die and they set their seeds and they carry on. So that was the same thing, really. So I never shy away from talking about grief or grieving or someone passing. I do find it difficult sometimes to say I'm sorry for your loss. I do find that difficult, and I'll tell you why. Because I see the soul. if you was to meet me in the street and you said, oh, my granny's passed over, I would be like, oh, granny's passed over. And then I would feel granny energy and she would be so happy. But I can't bring myself to say I'm sorry for your loss because I'm happy for the soul. And I'm not very good at lying about things like that. So I could say, oh, I'm so sorry for your soul. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. But I wouldn't mean it. What I would mean is I'm really happy that that person passed at their passing time. Let's celebrate. And I have to find another way sometimes of saying I'm sorry for your loss because I'm happy for the soul. It's kind of a bit of a catch-22. Depending who the person is, I often would just maybe put my hand on their shoulder or something like that, or give them a big hug, depending again who it is, and say I'm always here if you need me, that kind of thing. Or you can talk to me about anything. I like to say that because I think it's important that people who are, in quotes, grieving, have someone to talk to that's neutral. And, I think I've heard nearly everything about souls passing and all of that kind of stuff. You have to remember that I've done this work for over 30 years full time. And the first time that I ever encountered a soul showing themselves to me was when I was around 3 years old. So it's always been in my life. So if any of that has resonated with you, which I'm sure it has, remember that we're here to live our own soul's life on earth in this earthly body. And this is what we're supposed to be doing. So in season 3, I got a bit lost in season 2, I have to admit. I don't know why, I just got a bit lost. So season 3, we're coming back on it with, I feel, just speaking as it is each time. I don't really want to put series there. I don't want to tell you now what I'm going to talk about in the next podcast because I don't really know, to be honest. But I do know that it will benefit you in some form or another. It will be interesting for you to listen and learn, but also to take with you some words of wisdom where you can help other people in their lives when they've needing to connect to the souls of people that have passed over. So season 3, I might be out in the woods talking. I'm not going to major edit because if I'm in the woods and the birds are chirping, I want you to hear them. And if the rain's falling on the trees, I want you to hear that as well. I want you to experience being in nature with me, what I see, what I sense, and what I feel, and what's coming through just naturally from the universe. So my podcasts, I feel, are going to be more channeled information, what the universe feels that you need to hear. So season 3 is here, and I will be doing 3 a month. So look out for them. 3 solid podcasts a month. Now I might intertwine these with anything else that I've got going on. So when it's coming up to any courses that I feel that you need to know about, then definitely I will be adding that in between. Also, don't forget that I do have an email list which you can sign up to on janmayfield.com, and then on the first page you will see the pop-up that you can sign up to my email. I'm trying to change that up as well to give you some wisdoms as we move through the months, and to give you any hints and tips on your spiritual path, but also to advertise courses that I do. But again, I got a bit lost around season 2 time with, I don't know if I got a bit of overwhelm. When I was working on my book, the Flick Oracle, which, by the way, is really, really helping people in their lives. The Flick Oracle book is a way of you just flicking through the pages and stopping and reading a personal message to you on that day. So if you feel stuck or just wonder what's going to happen or think you might need a message from somewhere, that's the book to get, the Flick Oracle. and that's by me, Jan Mayfield. It's instead of having oracle cards, but it kind of goes a bit deeper. It sits with your soul more. But yeah, so that's me. I look forward to seeing you in episode 2 and speaking from the heart, soul, and the universe. Have a amazing day. Hey, thank you for tuning in today. Your support is much appreciated. Please consider leaving a review, sharing on social media, and telling your friends about my podcast. You can also join my newsletter at janmayfield.com. Remember, take what resonates from Zoetic Chat and enrich your life with wisdom in all areas. And stay tuned for the next episode.